Hello friends! Today we will have interview. Hello friends! Today we will have interview for Ma'am Susi. She is teacher from SMP Negeri 1 Mojokerto, right?
Yes. Hello.
Okay, so for today we gonna try ask ask you why you become teacher. But before we head to the core for the interview, I want to ask you why you want to become a teacher. Like at junior high school, you have something special.
Yeah. Okay. I studied in SMP 1. That the school that I was teaching. Yeah. I said I was because I had retired. Right? The first time I got English as a subject was when I was in SMP, junior high school. And the teacher at that time, the name was Pak Syahri. Yeah. He was an old man, and I think he was very funny to teach. He was teaching very relaxedly. So he made me fall in love in English. At that time, I think that studying English is easy, easy and interesting. So that's why I was very motivated to learn English, and I want to become a teacher just like him. Yeah, he inspired me a lot.
So that's why you want to become teacher.
Yes.
But I want to know, before you want to teacher, why you started at SMPN 1 Mojokerto?
Yeah. Well, I was born in a village, 7 kilometers from Mojokerto. The name of the village is Merantau. At my time, when I was a kid, the children at my age studied in the school around my village. But I was very lucky because my parents sent me to the town to get the best education, and it was SMP1. I rode bicycle. Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah, every day. I think it was common because at that time motorcycles were very rare. Maybe in my village there was only one family who had motorcycle, no car. So the street was very very quiet. So most of the vehicles were only bicycle. So it was fun.
Okay, so we will have the next question, the second question that my friend will ask you.
Yeah, please.
What is your biggest motivation for staying in college and until now become a teacher?
Well, when I studied in college, I enjoyed all the subjects, yeah, especially the English. Yeah. So that's why I took the English department. I enjoyed learning, speaking, vocabularies, writing, and everything. So for me, it's okay. I enjoyed it a lot. Yeah.
So I want to ask Ed about the motivation. Last time you said that you want to become teacher because you have the good teacher at SMP. So
Yeah.
I want to ask that is there any other factor to become more likely to English?
Yes. When I was still a kid, I liked to watch movie. I like watching movie until now. And at that time, I watched movie only on television, right? And the television station was only TVRI. It was a long time ago. And when I was watching the movie, I was very busy reading the subtitle because I couldn't understand the English. And the problem was that the subtitle was sometimes late. I mean late from the scene. Yeah. So for example, when there was a funny scene, for example, I didn't laugh at the scene because I didn't understand. When I read the subtitle, oh, it was funny, but the scene was gone. So, so that's why at that time, I wanted to be the one who wrote the subtitle because I wanted to watch the movie even before the other people watch it. Yeah.
Okay, so we can do the next question, the third question, my friend.
As a teacher, what biggest challenge you encountered?
My biggest challenge as a teacher.
Yes.
Yeah, I think, my biggest challenge, I think, was when I found students that they didn't know the importance of English. Yeah, they thought they didn't need the English for their lives, so they came to school to join our classes just because it was an obligation. Yeah. For me, this is the biggest challenge because it's very easy for the teachers who, when you come to the classroom and the students are ready to study, it was not a challenge. But when you come to the classroom and then the students were reluctant to study, that was the biggest challenge. Yeah. Yeah. And how to overcome this, I should give them motivation, the importance of English. I sometimes give give model to the classroom. So I invited some students who speak English very well, and then I asked them to talk to the students. So after that, I asked the students, do you want to be like them? So English is something easy to learn. It is not so difficult for you. This is the model. So I often invited the students. For example, when I taught the 7th grade, I invited the 9th graders who spoke English very well, and then to talk to the students. Yeah. So I think it worked well. It worked well. Yeah.
There is another question. Let's go.
Do you have another way to solve the problem?
Yeah, you mean that the problems of the students who were not interested in English? Yeah. Yes. For your information, I said were. I use past tense because now I didn't teach at school anymore. I have retired. Yeah, I have retired. Okay. Yeah, I usually use some techniques. We played games. I have many kinds of games, and sometimes I take the students to go outside to learn outside. Yeah. Oh, sometimes we listen to music. Yeah. So sometimes we watch a short movie that is suitable for the students at their age to watch. So actually there are so many ways. The teachers should be very, very creative to make fun learning through games, singing, doing something outside. So the students didn't feel bored only in the classroom doing this. This is not my typical.
Okay, so we have the next question, the fourth question, my friend asked for it.
A curriculum change seems to happen frequently in education.
Yeah.
And how do you view these changes? And do you find more beneficial or challenging to implement your teaching method?
Yeah. What's wrong with it? So the students don't like it. Actually, the core of P5 is really, really good because there are, I don't remember, maybe there are 5 dimensions. One of them is working together.
Oh yes.
I don't remember, thinking globally or something like
Yes,
that.
yes.
Actually, just like also creativity.
Yes.
Yeah. So actually, in that P5, there are so many good things to apply. That when you work with your, when you have to work with your friends, there are so many things you can learn from them. You try to listen to your friend's opinion, right? So you try to express your opinion when you are discussing something about what kind of project you are going to make, right? What kind of material that you have to prepare. Of course, you have to discuss about it. You have to sharing, listening, appreciating. It is very good things to learn for you as students, and then when you create something, I think it is very good to learn. So that's why I don't know what is wrong with that. So the students don't like that, but actually it's really really good.
So I know
If
the-
you know,
I-
if you know it, yeah.
That's right. But in my opinion, this is especially at the curriculum that I want to ask is the material.
Mhm.
So we have many material at 12th grade, but
Mhm.
we have this material at 11th grade.
Mhm.
That's why I want to ask that because we
Why
just repeat the
You have to repeat.
so the every school have different way to apply the P5, right?
Yeah.
That's why because in my school there is a repeat
Mhm.
material that
Mhm.
more
So-
complicated. So
yeah.
that's why I want to ask you.
My question is, do you only just repeat the same thing, or you learn something deeper?
It's like it's same, but
The same?
it's just slightly different because
Mm.
the teacher is just that thing. So I don't think P5 is a good curriculum,
Mhm.
especially there is a new exercise to do
Mhm.
like P5 at 1 or 2 weeks for just P5, and
Mhm.
the theme of the P5 is just repeat.
Mm.
That's especially I want to know from the teacher.
In my opinion,
Yes.
when you have to repeat something, for example, I don't know exactly what happened in your class, but I just gave you an example. When we talk about a kind of text, for example, procedure text. Some schools, because I was teaching in junior high school, so I give you an example in junior high school. Some schools did this. The students get procedure text in 7th grade. They also get procedure text in 9th grade. It doesn't mean that they repeat the text, no. For example, in grade 7, they learn how to make simple things, for example, simple drink, simple food, simple manual. But in grade 9, they talk about technology, about the procedure of something that is, they learn with more difficult vocabularies, they learn deeper about it. So I think it doesn't mean when you repeat something, it is not only repeat. Maybe you have a deep learning, you learn something deeper about it.
Okay, so we will have to do the next question.
Mhm.
Okay, the next question, my friend will talk about it.
Okay. Looking back on your teaching career, is there a special moment or achievement that stand out and makes you feel proud yourself?
Well, I have taught for how many years? I started teaching in 1983. Even maybe your mom hasn't born yet. What is the achievement? I think, besides teaching, of course, teachers train students or prepare students for competition, right? Yeah. So I think I can say that I feel proud is when I train my students to join competitions and they won. Yeah. If the students were very good at English, and then they have a very good motivation, and then I train them, and then they won. I think it's normal. But something that makes me proud is that when the students, I see the potential of the students, and then the students didn't want to join the competition because of some reasons, and I convinced them to join, and then sometimes I forced them, I motivated them, and it was a hard work for me. But when they were successful, in gaining the trophy or something, that makes me proud. Even when I motivated the students to learn English, and then they became enjoyed learning English, and they made some achievements. Even some of them work with their English right now. When I see them to become one of the presenter of national television, I was very proud to see it. When they went abroad, and then they sent me card. It was, for me, it was.
It's
Yeah.
achievement.
Yeah, I was very happy to see that.
And for the last question, my friend will ask about it.
The last question in this interview, after you have been a teacher for a long time. So, what is the memorable thing about your time as a teacher?
My most memorable time is being with the students. The teacher's job are not only teaching and training the students, but also doing administration. Doing administration, I didn't like it. I like to be with the students. So what I miss right now is, because now I don't teach at school anymore. I always miss the students when we did process. For example, when we prepare for competition, it needs months. It is very memorable, and I very often did games with the students, did some things outside the classroom. We sang together, we danced together, so it was the things that I always miss.
Thank you for the interviews. That all the questions that we have want to ask about. And yes, so thank you and goodbye.